I don't know what it is, but I'm craving McDonald's. This September was tame, you guys. It was better than last September. Anyways. Hi. Hello. Welcome back to my witch obsession. And in today's Pick a Pokemon card reading, we will be asking the question, what is paying off for you? Now, the reason that I'm doing this reading is kind of like all over the place, so if you care to listen, just proceed to the ramble when I'm done with the intro. But yeah, in today's reading, we'll be looking at what is paying off for you. Like what have you done in the past, or what have you been put through, and anything like that you feel like it was for no reason, but in reality, it's actually paying off. Like what have you done that is kind of soliciting good things into your life. So today we have 4 groups here. I kind of chose the cards of kind of this realistic looking strange clay vibe. So yeah. So with today's groups, we have group 1 with Blossom, group 2 with Mime Jr., group 3 with Tangela, and group 4 with Paris. And yeah, those are the 4 groups. If you have chosen your pile, timestamps are down below in the description box. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the way down. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which will also be linked down below. Anyways, other than that, so you got your reading, but if you'd like to sit and listen to me ramble for a little bit, then hi. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I actually tried filming this like about an hour ago, and I was going to do like what good things are coming into your life, but I didn't know, and I want to do a singles reading. I know I want to do that, but there's a deck that I want to get before I do it. But you guys, I was just feeling so like drained and like dysregulated, and it showed through in the reading because I was like, I don't know, like I just felt like I was like, I still have like a headache and stuff like that, but usually like that doesn't really bother me. I feel like I always have a headache. But I texted my friend about it. She's like, girl, you need some sunlight. And because I was telling her, I was like, I've been getting a lot of sleep lately, but I still don't feel very rested, if you know what I mean. And that's one thing I will say. I feel like I feel very tired now because usually in the mornings, what I would do was I would go to Starbucks, and, because of that, I would get sunlight because, I'm going outside and my windows aren't tinted and stuff like that, you know. So I was getting sunlight, but now I've been making coffee at home, so I feel like there's a little bit of tweaking that needs to be done into my routine so that I can get more sunlight. Maybe I'll stand outside in the morning because I don't want to drive anymore in the morning, especially with these gas prices. Girl, gas is like $6 in California right now. It better go down, but anyways. But yeah, I felt so like gross. I didn't like the vibes, and I just like was so dissatisfied. And I was thinking about not even posting tomorrow, but then I was like, it's not that I don't want to film. It's just that I feel like I physically can't. And I just also felt like this level of dissatisfaction with the topic that I was doing, because like if I don't like the topic, or if I don't feel like the topic is like the vibe, like I just like feel that much more not motivated to do it. So yeah. And I also have some water here. Oh my gosh. But I just like, so what I did was I grabbed a cup, I put some ice in it, got some water, and I went outside and I was like listening to music, and I just like stood outside for like 5 minutes in the sun, and I just feel so much better. I definitely want to go outside again. I don't know you guys though, because I don't like going for walks in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, because like all the kids like they'll be waiting. Like I just feel like the neighbors are looking at me, and I know that's not, you know what I mean. But I just like don't like it. So maybe I'll like go into the backyard or something. The backyard, it's like the tiniest little thing. Like in California, backyards don't exist, at least in Southern California. But yeah, I definitely want to find something out. Maybe if I'm feeling up to it, I'll even drive to like a park or something. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do that like maybe once a week. I don't know. It's just a work in progress. But generally speaking here, I just know that I need more sunlight. Also, I just wanted to also say thank you guys for the support lately, like on the Etsy shop. I feel like you know, people have been buying readings, you guys have been like, you know, watching, and I've been reading comments. Like, I really appreciate your guys' support. I definitely, it's like one of the main reasons I feel so motivated. I'm just like, you guys, like, they out here, and like I gotta be out here with them, you know. I gotta be matching them up, you know. But yeah, I don't think today's reading is gonna be particularly long because like I do still have a headache coming on, and also because it's like 5 in the afternoon right now, and I'm just like kind of sleepy, and I'm probably gonna go out after this. I'm just to get some sun, and also because I feel like I need to regulate myself. And driving, honestly, you guys, really does regulate me, which I feel like is a little bit contradictory to what I just said earlier about all that. But I don't know. I do. I've been feeling good about making coffee at home, though I will say I know it's been saving me money. When you spend $9 on a coffee like every day, like how would, like, you know, anything besides that is inexpensive. So, you know, I bought the coffee and creamer to make it at home, and it was like $13. That's like one Starbucks order for me. But yeah, in that case I feel a lot better. And I don't know, like I just feel like it's inadvertently really changed my life, and I almost wonder if my body is still adjusting to it because I'm not going out every single day, you know, because I got a fridge, and you know, my life has changed, and there's other changes going on. But yeah, I don't know. I knew this ramble was going to be really disjointed, but one thing I will say is I've also been ruminating a lot, and that's why I wanted to do this reading. Oh my gosh, that's how I thought of this reading. I was like, you guys, I feel like nothing's paying off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can literally. I was like, man, I really wish there was readings on like what's paying off, and I was like, girl, I'm literally one of the creators. I can just do it myself. But anyways, yeah, I really want to see how things are paying off, or I want to feel like things are paying off, you know? If not, it just to feel it, you know? It doesn't matter if it actually happens, because whether or not it actually happens, what matters most is whether or not I feel it, you know? Also, I've gotten a few things lately. I bought a few things, and if you care to listen about, you know, to me ramble more, I do have a ramble channel which is linked down below, just for those of you that maybe want to hang out with me a little bit more. But yeah, I think that's all I have for today's ramble. I really don't have much to say. I kind of just want to like jump right into it. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening to today's ramble. I love you. See you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you chose Blossom, this is going to be your reading for what is paying off for you. So we're just going to get right into it. I only have one oracle deck today, and then we're just going to get straight into the tarot. So yeah. I don't know, you guys, like, I was gonna, if you guys listen to the ramble, you guys know, like, September's just always such an awkward month. I feel like I'm just waiting. Okay, I'm waiting for spooky season. September is like, you know, like kind of spooky season, but like, let's be real here. October's the real vibe. I feel like October is always like a really good month, so I'm kind of excited to see what's going on. Anyways, what is paying off for pile 1? 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 Oh. I like where this is going. Okay, for your first card, we have Integrity. And I am going to take the card that is on the bottom of the deck, which is Presence. I feel like this goes a bunch of different ways. Because with the Presence card, I just immediately feel that no matter what's been going on, you've really managed your integrity, you know? But, you know, obviously, because, like, it's the words here, but what I'm trying to say here is that, like, no matter what has happened to you, no matter what it is that you have gone through, I just feel like you guys have, like, really shown up, you know? And I feel like you guys, you know, haven't tried to detach or to remove yourself from things or to, you know, try and prevent things by staying out of the way. And not, like, in a way that's, like, oh, like, you know, you are dodging things that are not meant for you and stuff like that, but more so that you aren't running away from your truths, or you aren't running away from situations or stress. I just feel like you guys are really taking it upon yourselves to go through it and deal with it, you know? Like, you're actually working through problems, and you're actually working through whatever else it may be that you just have to go through. And with the integrity card, this immediately gives me the vibe that you guys are really maintaining your peace. It's obvious to me that with integrity and presence, there's been a lot of things that have maybe been trying to interrupt your peace. It makes me think of like when someone does you dirty, and instead of like getting revenge on them, you just like move on with yourself, knowing that karma or whatever it is may happen. Like, you just know that they will get what they deserve, you know? And I just feel like you guys have been very silent, and I feel like you guys have been very courteous with the circumstances, in the sense that you guys aren't, you know, like going out of your way to, like I said, exact revenge, or to be cruel, or, you know, get people back or something like that, or even get situations back. I just feel like you guys have been very good about just being like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm showing up for myself. And also, with that being said, it's just like, on top of the fact that you aren't really, or you haven't, you know, like participated in vengeful or vindictive behaviors, it's just that is also, of course, impacting your well-being, because you aren't stepping down, or you aren't, you know, like participating in that kind of vibration in order to get back at people, you know? Or like, not even just people, but, you know, like, I'm just using people as an example because I feel like that's one of the most common examples that you can use. But just kind of, you can really apply it as a metaphor for different situations that you feel like you have been wronged, but instead of, you know, like causing drama over it or trying to force things, you kind of just let it be, and you move along with your life. And so, like, I just feel as if though it's really paying off for you, because I feel like, you know, like the universe or whatever else it is that is in control of us and whatnot, I just feel like it's gifting you. And I feel like it's like, hey, like, you're doing your best to protect your peace, like, let me help you with that, you know? And I just feel like this will inadvertently manifest even better things into your life, you know, because it's just, you aren't tainting your well-being, or you aren't tainting your morals or anything to get back at anything. You know what it made me think of? It made me think of that episode of Adventure Time, and it was called like City of Thieves, and there was this tower, and it had like this bubble or something around it, and if you weren't tainted by the city, or if you didn't have any, you know, if you weren't a thief, you could get in, but if you were a thief, you were like considered contaminated and dirty, and you couldn't get into the tower. And I remember Finn, you know, went into the tower, but then he stole something from the tower, so he couldn't go back into the tower because he stole something, and he became a thief, you know? And I just feel like that's kind of what you guys are, in the sense that, not like you're contaminating yourself, but that's something that you're not doing, you know? I feel like you guys are, you know, like metaphorically maintaining your, your purity. And I'm not trying to say that you guys are pure or something. And it's like, if, you know, like maybe like not all the time do you want to be identified as pure, depending on how you see the word. But what I'm trying to say here is that you guys are really maintaining a clean slate. It's paying off for you, you know? It makes me think of like, you know, like when kids are in school, or like, no, when you tell like young kids like sit up straight or have good posture, and then they're like, no, or whatever, and then they're like 30 and their back literally, like, their spine looks like a paper clip. I just feel like you guys are dealing with that, you know? It's like you guys would be the kids that practice good posture all their lives, so now your spine is like a flagpole as opposed to what, a bendy straw. So I just feel like you guys, a lot of the reward and what's paying off for you is the fact that you won't have to deal with a lot of the burdens, a lot of the stressors and the BS that other people are dealing with, simply because they didn't want to step up to the occasion when it mattered to them the most. You know, I feel like you guys are being really consistent, and consistency will always pay off, you know? But yeah, let's get into your guys' tarot. I'm pretty curious as to see what's going on. I want to, you know, further upon the context. My nose always gets so runny when I film. I don't know what it is. Okay, what is paying off for pile 1? What is paying off for pile 1? Okay. We have 3 of Cups just fell out. We have the Magician. 8 of Wands. I have no idea how many cards I want to pull. Ace of Wands. I think I'm going to pull 5. That just like is the vibe. And then we have King of Cups. And then on the bottom of the deck we have a Temperance. So Sagittarius is definitely very relevant here. We also have water and a lot of fire. We have a lot of water and a lot of fire. So you could be, you know, like a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or you could also be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You don't have to be. But if you were, I definitely do think that these could be relevant in your Mars sign and your Sun sign. And I say that because I feel like those are like the egoic planets, or like the planets that deal most with ego. And I just feel like you guys have been very much like, you know what, like, let me not even, you know? It's like, or, you know what, that's not my business. But the Ace of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Magician, King of Cups, honestly, like, just all these cards together, except maybe not the 3 of Cups, just tell this story of, I feel like your guys is protection over your peace and your emotionality. It makes me think of the fact that I feel like you guys are just like, you're being blessed with a really good reservoir of energy. And I don't know how to explain it. It makes me think of people who collect things that are just like very common. Like, for example, like I don't know, like, let's say McDonald's, because that's the one I'm craving, has these toys, and like, they're running rampant, and like everyone has them, but you like collect the toys, and then like they're still in style for a while, but one day they just fall off, and then with time they become extremely valuable, like worth like millions. I don't know how that would be possible, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, right now you may not see it, but as you are maintaining your energy and you are keeping yourself clean and you are practicing a good reputation and keeping the situations that, like, just keeping yourself in check, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you guys are just really keeping your guys' selves in check, and you are practicing integrity, and you are just like, you know what, let me not even get out of my, like, let me just like not get mad over this, and as a result, as you move forward, this energy that you were protecting goes up in value. And not to say it's like a property or something, but do you get what I'm saying? It's just like it becomes more and more coveted, more and more uncommon, and it inadvertently makes you an even more unique, special, and important person, because it's just like so very few people have this pure energy like you do. And so, like, as a result, I feel like with the 3 of Cups, the King of Cups, a lot of how this is paying off is you are attracting a lot of people. And I feel like this can come in a bunch of different ways, in the sense that, like, like, they don't have to be like longtime friends or something, but people that are from different walks of life that could teach you a lot, that could bring you something into your life, perhaps it be a job, another friend, maybe a relationship. It's just like, I feel like you are attracting a lot of people, and like, period. Like, I don't feel as if though there's like, oh, like a lot of people like this. Like, I just feel like you guys are attracting people, like, period. And as a result, with the 8 of Wands, I just feel like it's bringing in a lot of different things that will really change your life, and it could come in the form of people. This gives me like strong 11th house energy, so you could have a sun, moon, or Venus even in the 11th house, maybe even a Mars or Mercury, whatever the case is. Just Aquarius and that 11th house vibe really comes through here. And I just feel like you guys are attracting something really important, and something really beautiful, and something that just like really matches up to your emotionality, and really matches up to your calmness, your maturity, and your potent manifestation power reservoir, whatever you want to call it. And it's just like, I think it's very interesting because even the way that I pull up to this reading and the way that I'm kind of like navigating this vibe, it's just like I feel a lot of confusion and I feel a lot of like skeptic. Like I feel very skeptical. I don't know what it is. I feel like you guys may feel very skeptical over the circumstances. I, makes me think of like, I honestly see kind of myself in this pile. Like I remember like the best example I can think of is in marching band when I would like do things and then the directors would be like, good job, and I was like, did I have a choice, you know? It's like, yeah, like everybody should be a good person, everybody should practice integrity, everybody should be present, you know? But like the point is, pile one, is that not everybody's doing that. And I don't want that to come off in a way that's like, I don't know, like I feel like that can be taken a specific way, but like whatever that specific way is, I don't mean that. What I mean is that like, it's just, I feel like it should be normalized to praise this behavior. And I feel like there's, like even if everybody did this, even if everybody practiced integrity and presence like you do, pile one, it doesn't mean that it's something that isn't worthy of praise or something that should be laudable. It's just like now with the situation that not everybody practices it, there's a stronger emphasis on the fact that it should be praised, on top of the fact that it is already something that should be appreciated and, like coveted and sought after and practiced, amongst the general majority. So it's just like you naturally deserve praise. But as you are practicing something that not a lot of other people are practicing, it becomes even more important to praise that. But anyways, I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm sure you guys kind of get the general gist of it. I do think that with the King of Cups, it makes me think of like a natural habitat. I don't know why. It made me think of a lake because cups, water. Excuse me. And then that makes me think of like national parks, and then that makes me think of like how they're like protected. Like there's just something about you that screams preservation and balance and beauty and maintaining things, especially with Temperance on the bottom of the deck. I just feel like you guys are really being, like, you guys are kind of going through the mundane and you're not even really realizing that you are practicing something so strong, and that you are inevitably creating good things for yourself. Maybe not inevitably. I don't know what word to use there, but like, it's just like you aren't really realizing what a great job you're doing right now and how many good situations that you are attracting. I feel like with the Three of Cups, I also think that you guys are generally very charming people, or that you guys are very good with people. Maybe you have Libra in your chart too. We don't have any swords here, but I almost do wonder if you guys have strong air energy in your chart, or if your Mercury is just in a water or fire sign. But that's because like Mercury is like the planet of communication and stuff like that. Maybe your Venus too could be in a water or fire sign, but regardless of whether or not you actually have those placements in your birth chart, it's that sense of like you guys are very watery, very passionate. It makes me think of water and fire. I feel like in on paper those things don't go together, but what it makes me think of is like when you have water and fire, there's a lot that you can do. Like hot water is so important, you guys. I didn't realize how important hot water was until I started living on my own. I was like, girl, I need a kettle. Like hot water is so important. But also steam is important. Steam has a lot of good, you can use things, like steam is just, I don't know, at its worst it's fun, at its best it's a pretty, like, it can do things, you know what I mean. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that like you have a lot of important tools that maybe you feel like you had no use for, or you feel as if though it's like, oh, it's like whatever, but you are being presented with a lot of situations that involves people, that involves you using your charm. It's just like, I almost wonder if a lot of you guys are about to be put into situations where you are really appreciated by the people around you. I feel like with the Three of Cups, what you're really attracting right now and what is paying off for you is the fact that you have, like, practice being a good person even when nobody's looking. And so as a result, I just think that a lot of good things are coming to you through that sense. Like I feel like that's such like a basic message, but that's really the base of it. Like you're deciding to be a decent human being behind the scenes, so it's like good things are coming to you. Like I just feel like that's just like math. Like just like 1 + 1 = 2. But with the Eight of Wands, I do think that it's coming very quickly. And I also think that with the Ace of Wands combined with the Magician card, I do think that inspiration's also coming towards you. I just feel as if though maybe you guys have dealt with burnout, or maybe you guys have been dealing with kind of like boredom, you know, especially with the Temperance card. I feel like Temperance card can tell a story of boredom, you know. It's like, oh, like I'm just doing this over and over and over again. But I think that pretty soon here, you'll be presented with a lot of things that like keep you on your toes, you know, and like really stimulate you and get you all hyped up and excited, you know. And I feel like maybe with the Three of Cups, like you guys are blatantly just attracting really good times with friends, family, relationships, whatever it may be, you know. And maybe for some of you with the King of Cups, maybe you'll meet like an emotional masculine energy, like, you know, like if you are wanting a relationship, maybe some of you guys are attracting a relationship, you know. It's because you kept your slate clean, like you ain't a cheater, you ain't out here playing games or nothing like that. And so it's just like, they say like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but when you play smart games, you win smart prizes. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's so like your vibe. I really feel like I could sum up the reading by saying that. And yeah, I just think that like, you guys are just attracting whatever it is that you may be seeking through connections and through people and through, you know, like just situations that involves people that could bring these things to the table, you know. Like for example, like you want to get like a really high paying job, and then you meet somebody that like works at a really nice facility or something, or like with a really nice company, and they offer you a job there, or they're like, oh, like, hey, like let me go talk to my boss about it, you know. Like, things like that, you know, like networking. I think I'm gonna sum up your reading pile one by saying that I just feel like what is paying off for you is the fact that you have been very good about your actions, about your morals, about your behaviors, even when nobody's looking and behind the scenes. Like, I just feel like you guys have been pulling your weight, basically, you know? You've been doing your job, you've been doing your healing, you've been being here for yourself and for the moment and for the people around you. And it's just like, no one asked you to do anything. No one asked you twice. Nobody is like, you need to do this, this, and this, or like, you need to heal, or like, hey, you did this, you know? It's just like, you are doing everything that needs to be done, and you are really just like acing the mundane right now. And as a result, with the Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, Ace of Wands, a lot of excitement is coming through to you in the near future in the form of friends, family, gatherings, relationships. For some of you, even romantic relationships with the King of Cups. And it's just like, you're about to start having a really good time, you know. It makes me think of like when you've been working hard at a job and you've been saving money, and then like you get like a bonus pay, and now you just have like extra to spend, and now you out here taking a break, and you're like, you know what, let me go on a vacation, you know. It's just like, you're gonna have time to really, or like you're gonna have the space, the time, and the resources to enjoy what you have worked so hard to preserve, to protect, and to kind of be there for, you know. I feel like the universe, like I said, the universe is like, girl, like, you out here practicing like nice people behavior, so you about to get nice things, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I have for you, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the messages made sense. I feel like no matter how many times I have filmed your guys' pile, it comes off a little bit convoluted, but you know, if it did resonate, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those at my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose Mime Jr., this is going to be your reading for what is paying off for you. So, I have one Oracle deck here today, and then we're going to hop straight into the tarot. Oh my gosh, I felt like pile 1's message was like super confusing, and like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like, I don't think it's always up to the tarot reader to make sense of the messages, because ultimately it's like the listener, but like, I don't know. It was like really confusing, and I'm like, I don't know. I just like, I felt like I had to tell someone, so it's like, it's gonna be you guys, because like, I don't know. Anyways, what is paying off for pile 2? 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 Oh, okay. So for your card, we have Despair. And then on the bottom of the deck, which I am taking today, we have a Closure. So I really like the Closure card, because I feel like the Despair card, like, girl, when you look at it, like, let's be real here, when you see Despair, it's like, But I just feel like with the closure card, I do think that you guys are moving away from despair. And the effort that you have put into healing yourself and to really feel the despair that you may have felt leading up until this point is really kind of like moving. Like, you know, it's just like it's being alleviated. And I feel like it's paying off in a way to where new growth is happening. It makes me think of like when you have a plant and it's like outgrown its pot and it's starting to wilt and stuff because it's like it needs a bigger pot, and then you like repot it and it starts putting out a bunch of new growth. That's what I'm feeling here. I just feel like you guys were definitely or maybe in a situation. I don't know. I feel very confident that this is a big case for a lot of you, or like this is like what most of you are going through. Is that like it's clear that you were in a situation or that you were kind of like living a life that was no longer suitable for you. And this could come in the form of a relationship, a home, something about your life and something about your connection, something about your possessions, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is that there was something in your life or like a version of your life that just like it wasn't serving you. And whether or not the rug got ripped from beneath your teeth there, or your feet, oh my gosh, maybe your teeth, who knows, I don't know you like that, but you know, it just like whether or not it was an involuntary change, there was still a part of you that accepted that it was time, like that time was over. You know, you dropped the pencil, you know, like when you like take a time test and they're like, drop the pencil. But anyways, and I just feel like even just that 15% of acceptance for the circumstances, or that even just like that little bit of willingness to let it go, or just accepting your fate, even if it took a really long time, it was still something that was hard to come to terms with. You know, it was still something that was a lot of work, and it was still something that caused you pain, caused you suffering. And the fact that you have taken the time to heal from the things that have been ripped away from you or the things that have caused you pain, it's just like that is being rewarded. That is going to be applauded moving here forward in the form of growth, in the form of new beginnings, you know, because they say like, you know, like a door closes, a new one opens, especially with just like the nature of this imagery of this card. And I love like this little like sprig or whatever it is here, because that's what I've been kind of referencing when I say growth, you know. And with this little figure walking away, I just feel like a lot of what's going on here, and also the fact that this like despair thing looks like a ghost. Just know, pile one, the things that are no longer a part of your life and the things that you are no longer hanging on to, yes, like there are scars, and yes, there are painful memories. It makes me think of like that line from Rolling in the Deep where she was like, scars of your love run deep or whatever. I'm just saying pile two, did I say pile one earlier? Whatever. I just want to say that only for right now is it something that causes you discomfort, and you're moving into an era of life where there are things to look forward to where you no longer have to turn your back or like turn your head to look back at the past to feel something. Just know that the fact that even though you've looked back several times but you have still kept your feet moving forward, that's gonna pay off. You know, like you're about to bump into something that brings you a lot of closure, brings you a lot of security, brings you feelings of worthiness, you know, because you no longer have to feel so much despair, or you no longer have to feel so much pain and so much suffering in regards to the circumstances, what has happened, because ultimately something is going to be coming forward that kind of teaches you like, hey, like that growing pain was worth it, you know. It's just like the sacrifices that you made and what you let go of, the space that once was taken up by those things is being cleaned up by your maturity and your willingness to keep moving forward, even if you feel unsure about whether or not you should leave the past behind, even though I feel like maybe at an intuitive level you guys do know that, you know? And I don't know, like I feel like that message can come off as like very like confusing, but basically what I'm trying to say here is that the space that was once taken up by other things is going to be filled by things that like take up the same amount of space but enrich your life even more. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like, you know, like if you eat like 10 pounds, like that's so unrealistic, 3 pounds of bread, it's not as, or like 3 pounds of like sugary fatty foods versus like 3 pounds of like fruits, vegetables and whatnot, you know? It's just, it's the same amount of weight, but what it does for you is completely different, you know? And I just feel like maybe for a while, metaphorically, what filled your life took up a lot of space but didn't fill you up in the ways that you needed, or didn't satiate your emotional needs and whatever else it may be in the ways that you needed. And by letting those things go, now the universe or whatever it is has space to give you what you do need, you know? It's finally able to package you these things and to really, you know, like truly give you something that fills your emotional needs even more than before, you know? So much to a point where it's just like you feel comfortable keeping the things out that you once hung on to so tightly. Yeah, let me start shuffling the tarot cards here. But I don't know, pile two. I just get like a lot of heavy feelings from this group, and I just want you guys to know that you guys are doing a fantastic job of moving forward even when it hurts. And I feel as if though like you guys have faced a lot of demons and you guys have done a lot of work that not a single soul knows about. And I'm just out here to tell you that like it's paying off. Like that labor and that work that you're doing on yourself isn't for nothing. There's a reason that those things that are no longer a part of your life are no longer a part of your life, you know? And you know, like you don't it doesn't have to be like you literally let go of something, but whatever it is that's causing you despair is ultimately being purged for good. What is paying off for pile 2? What is paying off for pile 2? What is paying off for pile 2? Okay. For your cards, we have 10 of Cups. Girl. Okay. We have 6 of Cups. We have Queen of Wands. We have 6 of Swords. 2 6s. Interesting. And we have Justice. So yeah, I do get a lot of... We have Libra here with the Justice card. Bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is all the fixed signs. If you're a fixed sign, just know it is getting better. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's never going to get better for fixed signs, but like that's just like unrealistic. Like it always does get better. But anyways, I want to immediately point out that we have 2 number 6s here, because I just feel like, you know, like the number 6 is about progression. It's about moving forward. And then the number 5 is about, you know, like change, adversity, loss, whatever else it may be. And I just feel like that speaks volumes to the fact that you are, in fact, moving away from something that caused you a lot of suffering and caused you a lot of, like, wounds. And moving forward from it, it's, like, it's boring. It's just not a vibe. But just know that it makes me think of when you're literally out at sea. You know, like, I've never been on a cruise or I've never been on a ship. But, like, I can imagine, like, you know, if you're, like, if a ship is going from one continent to the other, I can't imagine that it's a fun trip, you know, like, you're in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by water, like, girl, it is not fun. But then once you actually get to your destination, it's like, hey, yo, like, we in a different, like, we out here, you know? And the Justice card, I feel like, is super important here because, one, it's one of the 2 major arcana we have here, but also because I just feel like it speaks volumes to the fact that this was something that was meaning to happen. And maybe with the nature of the 6 of Swords and Cups, maybe it's something that's been needing to happen for a pretty long time now, but only now is it something that is like, it's finally happening, or it's something that is like, it's finally, you know, like, I feel like there's a lot of reasons as to why it could have taken so long for this situation to kind of occur or to finally get on its feet. But, you know, like, that doesn't really matter so much as the fact that time has passed and now it's finally just like, it's time to move forward. It's time to move on, you know? And the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck with the Queen of Wands, I feel like a lot of you guys are like getting that vibe back. There's just, I almost wonder if you guys feel as if though there's like a version of yourself that you want to go back to, or you feel as if though there's like a time of life that you want to go back to, especially with the Six of Cups. Maybe you're coveting something or a feeling from your childhood, or maybe that there was an era of life where you felt like you're thriving. You're like, I'm trying to get back on that, you guys. I feel like that is being given back to you, but with tenfold, you know, with upgrades. And I just feel like it makes me think of, there's this episode of Scooby-Doo, this is super random, but I remember like the mystery machine got broken, and then I think it was Frank and Creepy. I think that was the movie. And the mystery machine got blown up, but then it got returned, but with like a few upgrades. I feel like that's what's happening to you. It's just like a version of yourself or an era of life or even just a feeling that you miss, that you long for, is being returned to you tenfold. Because I feel as if though, like, maybe you guys with the Six of Swords, I'm getting this feeling, like, especially with the Despair card, that you guys maybe got lost. Or maybe you guys got, like, set off track from that version, you know? And maybe there's, like, regret here, or there's just, like, a sense of, like, you feel like you messed up or something, you know? It's just, like, there's a lot of pain here. Like, I even, like, I feel kind of emotional. Like, it's just, there's definitely something that you long for, even if you've never had it before, in such a way that even your inner child craves it. You know, maybe some of you guys are chasing literal inner child dreams, you know? And with the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck with Queen of Wands, like, once again, it's just, like, I don't think, like, it's just, like, not, it's not a vibe for me to be like, oh, like, it's just coming to you guys, you know, like, you guys are gonna attract it, you know, like, everything's gonna get fixed, like, you know, like, you're gonna get the job and, like, man or, like, woman or what else now, like, of your dreams, and you're, you know, like, you're going to, like, live the life that you want, you're gonna have a mansion. It's not like that, but more so you will be presented the seed that you want, like, the seed of the plant you want. There we go. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is, like, the coolest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Someone quote me on that. Just kidding. Someone probably already quoted that. But anyways. And this time it won't be a fraud. This time it won't be a fake, you know? This time you won't be presented with lies. There's this episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Ed, Ed, Eddie. Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Where they... I think it was Rolf and Jimmy that was like... They had like a money tree and Eddie wanted a seed to it. And he got it, but it was like a fake, and obviously like disappointment ensued. And maybe that guy, like, maybe that's something that you guys dealt with. Maybe you guys felt very misguided, and maybe that's why you want to get back to a specific era of life so you can maybe start all over again, or just to like move forward with the knowledge that you have now, and that is being presented to you, and that's how it's being paid off. I won't say that, like, I wouldn't say it's like you guys are backtracking to a spot that like you were in before, but more so like things are coming full circle with you guys. And oh, like, especially with the Wheel of Fortune, like, I feel like Wheel of Fortune is so like full circle vibes. I also see the Chariot right after the Wheel of Fortune, so we can have Cancer energy here, or maybe this has to do with your home life, or this just has to do with just, you know, like, something about your house, something about your family. But irregardless of what it is, just with the Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment is on the forecast for you guys, in the sense that like you will be getting the seed to the tree that you want to grow to give you that fulfillment, you know? Especially like if we do have cardinal energy here, I think that you guys really relish in the satisfaction of working towards something, of moving at your own pace and watching something grow, you know? Like, I just feel like that's the kind of person you guys are, and even if you're not, you will be granted the satisfaction of seeing something that you have wanted for so long grow right before your eyes. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sum up your reading pile 2 by saying that it's very obvious that you guys have dealt with a lot of suffering, and you guys have dealt with a lot of BS in your life as of late. And maybe it's been going on for a really long time with the Six of Swords, Six of Cups, and with the Queen of Wands and the Justice card. It's clear that you guys have played a part and you guys have stepped up into getting rid of things that no longer serve you. You know, you're like, this isn't my vibe anymore. I'm ready to move on. I'm done with this. I'm done with these people. I'm done with this home. I'm whatever else it may be. And it's just like this willingness to let go of something that you have become comfortable with, or this willingness to finally let go of something that you have tolerated for far too long. And the fact that you are finally making this move, and the fact that you are finally moving forward with your life, it's just like you're about to see so much progress in areas of your life that maybe for some of you, you didn't even realize have been left unattended, you know? And it makes me think of like it's like when you've been looking for like that one shirt for a really long time and you are pretty certain that it's gone forever, but then one day you just like randomly find it and you're like, because you were like cleaning the house or something, and it's just like that vibe of like you decide to do something that has been put off for a long time and you find something that you thought was gone forever, you know? And in that sense, I just feel like you guys are coming full circle. You're about to satisfy your inner child. You're about to satisfy yourself. And I feel like you're about to bring justice to your own well-being, in the sense that like you are no longer going to be put in a situation or a circumstance where you are not being treated the way that you want to be treated or being fulfilled the way that you need to be, you know? It's just like what is filling this clutter, or like this clutter that is filling your life right now, is about to be replaced with something that actually enriches you, fills you up in ways that you really need and didn't even realize you needed, you know? And I just feel like a lot of your, you know, like you'll be fulfilled as opposed to just satisfied. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's all going to be in a twist of fate, honestly. But yeah, it's just like the general gist of it is that like I'm going to say it one more time because I just feel like that is so the vibe. You are being presented with the seed of the plant that you so desire. There we go. Anyways, that's all I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose Tangela, this is going to be your reading for what is paying off for you. As you can see, the sun's starting to set, and honestly, you guys, like, I just really wish my window faced the side where the sun sets. I think the sun, I forgot, I'm not gonna say, but I forgot where the sun sets, but in the morning, the sun shines through here, but, like, I honestly prefer the sunset just in my room, but I ain't gonna complain or nothing. Actually, yes, I am. Anyways, we have one oracle deck here, and then we're gonna get straight into the tarot today. Yeah. I don't know, like, I always get nervous that you guys, like, don't, like, or that you guys can't see the cards, but now that, like, it's not that big of a deal, at least in my eyes, like, I don't know. Like, I show you guys the cards, but I just, like, I love this vibe. Is this not, like, autumn me to you? I don't know. Anyways. What is paying off for Pile 3? 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 Okay. Love this. We have purpose. And then we have strength. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, can I not read? But anyways, with the purpose, this imagery just immediately makes me feel like you guys have been moving about your life with no complaints. And even if you are complaining, you're just like being very quiet about it, you know? Like, I just feel like you guys aren't being out here being like, oh my gosh, like, I hate my life, it sucks. Like, I just want, like, you know, like, it's like, even if you feel that way, you know, like, let's say hypothetically, it's just the fact that you don't hang on to it, or you don't use it as an excuse to give up, you know? You are still going, and I feel like this strength that you are, like, one way it's paying off, first of all, is this strength that you are exhibiting in order to get through your life right now is about to be, like, supported. in the sense that I feel as if though, like the universe, your guides, you know, whatever else that, you know, you believe in, or what you feel like is controlling, is like about to give you what you are putting out tenfold, you know, or like threefold, fourfold, fivefold, you know, whatever it may be. The point is that it's coming back, it's being given back to you and matched up. It makes me think of like those parents when like a parent's like, hey, like, I'll help you buy your first car, you know, like, if you put in 500, I'll put in 500. If you put in 10,000, I'll put in 10,000, you know? I feel like that's what's happening to you. It's like all this effort that you've been putting in, maybe you feel as if though it's going nowhere, or you feel as if though like you're becoming tired. It's just like all of that isn't going to waste, you know? Like all this effort that you're putting in is about to be given back to you doubled on top of the energy that you already have, which will obviously domino effect into bigger things in your life. And the reason I'm saying like frustration could be involved is because after, I'm not taking it, but after the strength, I do see frustration. So I just feel like you guys have been dealing with a lot of BS, or you feel as if though you've been putting in a lot of work just to see so little results. I even feel like a bad headache coming on. Like it's worse than what the headache that I had in the beginning of the video. And it's just like not like in a concerning way, like, oh my gosh, like, are you like dying or something, but more so in a way that I can totally see how your life may, as of late, has been very headache inducing, you know? It's clear that maybe you guys have been dealing with a lot of frustrations and a lot of things that are kind of like, I'm hearing, defeating the purpose, you know? But with the purpose card, I feel like that is one thing that is like being given to you and also paying off. It's like when you move with purpose, the purpose that you're moving for is going to be fulfilled. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't know, like, I just feel like it's a little bit ambiguous as to what it is that is actually coming into your life, or what this currency or what this payoff is going to be. But I can see that, like, I feel confident in saying that the energy that you are exerting now is going to be returned to you, so that you can buy, you know, metaphorically, what it is that you are looking for, you know? It's that whole sense of like, you know, if your parents match you up on $10,000 when you have, like, you put in $10,000, so they put in $10,000. It's just like, that's a lot of money. So it's like at the end of the day, it's just what it's being put towards is, it doesn't really matter. But like, obviously in this context, we're using a car, but like generally speaking, you know, it's like, money is money, and it can be put towards a lot of different things. And I feel like with this purpose that you're pulling up with, it's just whatever it is that you are putting all this energy into, the universe is supporting it. You know, the universe is like, hey girl, like, or hey boy, like, I see you putting in all this work. Let me give you a little extra boost, you know? It makes me think of like, oh, there's this episode of Scooby-Doo. I forgot which one it was. I think it was the one where they meet the Globetrotters or something. Or, oh, What a Night for a Night too, where Shaggy's like on a ladder and he's like trying to get into a building. Ironically that I'm using Shaggy and I keep saying like, but it's just who I am, guys. But you know, he was trying to get into the building and they used a jack. You know, there was a ghost that helped him in the Harlem Globetrotters one. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is that maybe some of you guys feel like the amount of effort that you are putting in to get to where you need to be, or that, you know, the metaphorical ladder that you have put up to climb up to your destination it wasn't long enough. But that's paying off because it's just, you still gave it a shot and you still put in energy and labor. And now the universe is like, okay, let me just put a jack under your ladder to give you that extra boost, you know? I know that's very silly, but basically what I'm trying to say here is that if you felt as if though the purposes that you've been trying to fulfill and the goals that you have been trying to achieve, as if though, like, if you feel like you have fell short of all of those things, the universe is about to give you the boost that you need in order to reach them, because it's obvious the amount of effort that you have put in to try and get there, you know? Okay, let me start shuffling the tarot cards. I don't know, you guys, like, I feel a lot of different things in this pile. I honestly even feel a little bit of detachment. It's just obvious that you've really done a great job of maintaining your composure and kind of like keeping yourself in check and not letting your frustrations, your anger, or whatever else maybe get the best of you, you know? Instead of throwing a temper tantrum or something, you dusted off your knees and you kept moving forward. And that is just very laudable all on its own. But obviously that's just, it's going to be rewarded, you know? We're gonna see here in the tarot. I don't want like, anyways. How is this paying off for pile 3? What is paying off for pile 3? What is paying off for pile 3? Okay, for your cards, we have the High Priestess, the Emperor, 10 of Pentacles. Ooh. So y'all are about to be rich is what I'm hearing. Anyways, we have the Hanged Man. And we have 7 of Cups. I think the 7 of Cups and the Hanged Man being here is very fascinating. So, and then we have the Princess of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I almost just dropped the whole deck. First of all, we do have some Aries energy here. I don't know what the High Priestess and the Hanged Man are ruled by, but if you know, you don't tell me down below, I guess. But I just feel like the 7 of Cups and the Hanged Man, like I said, is very interesting because I feel like it makes me think that you're at the top of this metaphorical ladder that I keep referencing, and you're kind of like unsure. You're like, should I go back down or should I just stay here and keep reaching, you know? But I feel like with the High Priestess card, you guys feel like you should keep reaching. Don't look down. Don't look back. Don't wonder how you're going to get there. I just feel like you guys really have that when there's a will, when there's a way mentality. And you are being rewarded for that, pile 3. And it's really exciting, honestly. Because with the 10 of Pentacles, I almost wonder if this is in regards to your job, your career, your work, especially with the Princess of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And like I said, I just don't think that you guys are on that many emotional pursuits right now, like relationships, romantic connections. So it's just like, it gives me the sense that like you guys aren't really seeking something like that. You guys are seeking personal fulfillment with your career, with your work, with your finances, with your home, whatever it may be. It's something materialistic and something that you put in work through, you know, the material world, you know, like working a job for it or like, you know, talking to people, whatever it may be. And I feel as if though the 7 of Cups and Hanged Man really show this kind of like indecision that you have, you know. It's just, it makes me think of like, so I'm going to keep using that $10,000 example. It's like you have 10,000 or like say whatever it is that you need is $20,000 and you have the $10,000 and you're like, how am I going to make another $10,000? You know, like this is before you realize that whoever is helping you is going to double up with you. You know, you're like, oh, like, should I just keep working or should I just buy something that's worth what I have, you know, because, you know, like you worked really hard for that money and it's been a while, it's been like years of saving up. And it's just like, then like, you know, like randomly you're just like, you know what, like, I don't know, like, I'm just going to keep saving up, seeing what happens. And then suddenly, like, someone pulls up and like, hey, like, I'm going to match up to what you're paying. Or like maybe you even get a discount or something like that. A 50% discount off a car. Like, who knows in this economy, honestly. But, you know, with the Emperor card, I do think that you guys are pressing for it. I do think that you guys are pushing for it. I don't think that you guys are giving up. And especially that Purpose card, you know, it's just like you guys are moving with a lot of like integrity and you're moving forward with a lot of grace because you're just so determined to get to where you want to be. The 10 of Pentacles really tells me that you're trying to reach a point of stability, a point of success financially for some of you. And with the High Priestess card, like, I just feel like it's coming through as kind of this nudge, you know, of like, oh, like I should just keep going, you know, or I should just keep moving forward. And I don't know, like, I just feel like there's not much to say about this reading. I feel like it's pretty, like, it's a pretty simple message, but, you know, it's like basically what I'm trying to say here is that maybe this kind of translates even more into your frustration of like, dang, dude, like, I really just only want this, like, I'm not even asking for that much, you know? And it's just know that you really aren't asking for that much. Like, if it's something that you really want, like, you're never asking for too much, pile 3. And I feel as if though, like, whatever it is that you are reaching for, like I said, like everything that I've compared this situation too is a metaphor. It's not like you are literally saving up for a car. Maybe some of you are, but you know, it's just the sense of like whatever it is that you were reaching for. I don't think that it will just be like magically like, oh, everything gives in, you know, the whole thing goes down and suddenly you're presented with what you want, you know, and it's like comes in the mail, whatnot. It's not like that, but more so I think that with the strength you will be given that extra boost to reach it. And I, even before that you were given that little extra boost, I feel like it will come in kind of like, it'll trickle in. Like you'll be given little drops of like energy, like, okay, I'm gonna keep going, or I'm gonna keep going, or it makes me think of like, you know, like in the cartoons where there's like for example, like you're trying to catch Jerry, you like put down a little piece of cheese and like you leave a trail of it to the really big pile of cheese, and it's just like, man, I'm only getting these little things, you know, like they're good, I guess, but you know, I'm not satisfied. But then at the end, like you were met with the golden goose, you know, the creme de la creme, the golden goose, whatever else maybe, the goods, the jackpot. I like the jackpot. I feel like I'm gonna keep saying that, but you know, it's a lot of good things. And also, like, I also see the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to, like, drag out your message, but honestly, pile 3, I feel like that's really all that needs to be said. So I'm just going to sum up your reading by saying that it's obvious that you guys have been moving forward and that you guys have been reaching for something that you really desire at a deep level. And it's obvious that you guys have been putting in a lot of work to get to where you want to be, and you guys have climbed a very big ladder, and you guys have overcome a lot of battles that not a lot of people know about, and that you have been moving silently towards your goals without many people knowing. And you have faced a lot of adversity and, you know, treacherous situations, frustration, anger, disappointment along the way, and you've really kept your head above water, and you've worked very hard to work through these emotions and to get to where you want to be. You know, you've endured so much to kind of, and in the name of something that you care about. It's just like that amount of unmatched passion and that amount of like sheer determination to get to where you want to be will always be matched up, and it will always be rewarded in one way or another. And I feel like for you guys with the 10 of Pentacles, it will be rewarded in the form of like just pure financial like you'll be financially exalted, or you will just feel very satisfied in the material world in some way, shape, or form. Maybe, you know, a better living situation, maybe a better routine, a better health regime, you know, something that improves your physical quality of life. And it's obvious that with the Hangman and 7 of Cups, like you have endured a lot of indecision, and you have endured a lot of situations that may have presented options that seem just as appealing as what it is that you're working for. But it's obvious that you have kept your head straight on the prize, and you have kept your eyes on the prize. You know, you've kept your eyes forward, you kept moving towards it, you didn't let anything distract you. And it's just like that focus is going to be like, it's unmatched, and it's about to be like rewarded, you know? It's just, the universe is about to match you up on the effort that you've been putting in to really boost you towards your goals and save you a lot of extra trouble, because it's obvious that you've gone through enough trouble for what it is that you are looking for and working for. So yeah. That's all I have for you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. If you chose Paris, this is going to be your reading for what is paying off for you. As you can see, the sun is setting, but I honestly really like this lighting, so I'm just going to keep it. It might get a little dark in your reading though, so I do apologize, but I'll show my best to show the cards. Anyways, before we get into the tarot, I do have one oracle deck that I want to dive into. It's the Reclaim Oracle. Yeah. I don't know, you guys, like, I'm just like, today's reading has been very like laid back. Like, this is giving fall. Is this not giving like an autumn night, like after school, and you're just like contemplate, like this feels like a Sunday night, I don't know, even though it's Monday, at least at the time that I'm filming this. Anyways, what is paying off for Pile 4? What is paying off for Pile 4? Okay, so for your card we have kindness, and then we have blame. I love this combination because it's giving me this vibe that you guys have been so genuine with your actions and you have just been so heartfelt. And something about the blame card really gives me this vibe that it seems as if though you guys have dealt with a lot of situations where people try to blame you, you know? Or maybe even you trying to blame other people. But I honestly feel a little bit more confident in saying that other people have been blaming you because it's obvious that with the kindness card coming out first, you guys have been very kind and you guys have been very gentle and very nice. Despite the fact that maybe like you've been presented with a lot of situations that make you irritated at the very least. I don't know how to describe it, but I think that this can go a bunch of different ways, but it's just, it makes me think of kind of like, I don't know why, but something about taking the blame keeps coming into my head. Like, I don't know, like, and it's making me think of like this vibe of like, it's not even my fault, but I'm going to take the blame, or it's not even my fault, but I really just want this situation to blow over. And I feel like you've done nothing but soak up other people's pain and give back. And I feel like it's been very exhausting for you. Like, I even feel out of breath. You guys have not taken breaks. You guys feel like you have not gotten a break. Like, I just feel so like can you hear me? Like, out of breath? It literally feels and sounds like I just ran a marathon. My left ear is ringing now too. Like, my body is literally malfunctioning. But anyways, not really. But basically what I'm trying to say here is that I feel like what's paying off for you is the fact that you have worked so tirelessly to do nothing but give out love. And to do nothing but to choose peace and to do whatever you can to maintain peace. And to keep the balance. And I feel like how this is paying off, we'll see as we get into the tarot here. But it's very obvious that you've dealt with a lot of situations and you've been blamed for things that were not your fault. Even if like people weren't literally pointing a finger at you, it just feels like there have been so many situations where you felt like you were painted as the bad guy, or you felt as if though you were being painted as something that you are not. And I just feel like with that kindness card, maybe you guys will be receiving kindness, you know? I feel like you guys will be receiving kindness from somebody else, you know? Because it's like, it makes me, like, I'm just looking at these two cards, it's just like, in this one, someone's going to be pointing a finger at you, but in this one, someone's giving you a flower, you know? Or it's just like, in this one, you're pointing a finger, but in this one, you're giving a flower, you know? Which both are completely different from one another. And it's just like, I just feel like that exchange, that sweetness and innocence of giving someone a flower is just like, I don't know why, but I just keep thinking about it because it's obvious that you guys have just been looking for some pureness, some genuineness, you know? You know what this makes me think of? This is what I was going to say in the beginning, but I forgot. Like, it just slipped out of my mind, but now it makes me think of like when people give you kindness, or when people like do nice things for you and they're like, after all I've done for you, in like a really heated moment. Or like, for example, you guys go to dinner with someone and they pay for the bill and they say, oh, it's no problem, you know? And then one day randomly they're like, but remember that one time I paid dinner for you? And you're like, hey, yo, how are you going to use that against me? I did not ask you to do that, you know? And I just feel like you guys have dealt with a lot of that. Maybe for some of you guys, you are like that people pleaser, or you are that person that is so like very courteous and you're always showing up for people. But like the minute that you choose yourself, or the minute that you decide like, hey, like I don't think, you know, people like call you selfish, you know, or people are like, oh my gosh, you know, like it's very obvious that like for some of you guys that people react very strongly and negatively to your boundaries. And I just feel as if though like your patience with this and your willingness to kind of like deal with these situations and be like, you know what, like I don't care, like if it's all my fault, then it's all my fault, like you're gonna get where you deserve, like get out of my face, you know? And I just feel like you guys are being like, the way that's paying off is that you are attracting more genuine kindness and goodness into your life, you know? Yeah, let's get into the tarot to kind of see what's going on. But I don't know, like I feel like even the way that I'm kind of like presenting this message feels a little bit like all over the place, and I definitely think that you guys have dealt with a lot of that. Maybe you guys have been dealing with situations that tire you out, like I said, exhaust you, you know, and it's just, instead of giving into it, you know, and pointing a finger right back, or, you know, being angry or something, or trying to like win an argument or something, or operating from a place of ego, you've decided to kind of let go of things. And I also feel as if though, like, for full transparency, I think that with the blame card, maybe some of you guys were pointing fingers. Maybe some of you guys were playing this game, you know, with other people of like, you know, like I was kind of beating around the bush of it because I wasn't sure. But like honestly, like I genuinely feel like a lot of you guys were in a really bad headspace for a while. Or you guys were just doing things that were so out of character because you were so triggered or so very exhausted from the circumstances. And so it's just like, I feel like you guys really gave in, or I feel like you guys have been reflecting as of late back to situations in your life where you were definitely like, well, not definitely, but like you feel as if though like you were somewhat in the wrong, or that you were just like not right to do things, or that you were in situations that, you know, you felt like you were not the good person, or you weren't the bigger person, you know. And I just feel like with the kindness card, you guys are changing that around, you know. You guys are switching how you were operating around, or other people are switching how they were operating around, you know. In the sense that like, instead of, you know, like pointing a finger, just taking a look at yourself and being like, hey, like, what can I do better? Because it doesn't matter if I blame them, you know, it doesn't matter if I point a finger at them, even if it is their fault. It's just like whatever happened has already happened, so you may as well deal with the circumstances, you know. And I just feel like this maturity and this acceptance for the situations and what has happened to you and what has already, you know, been done and dusted is just like, that's what's paying off for you, you know. The amount of work that you have done on yourself, from, you know, like maybe for some of you, like instead of being toxic, or, you know, being like the people around you, or participating in behaviors that you don't resonate with, or you don't even, that's like, you know, just like behaving out of character, that work you've done to kind of move away from that and to kind of like, you know, be like, oh, like this ain't not me, you know. I just feel like that is what's being rewarded and what is paying off for you, you know. That work that you're doing is that like, instead of being stuck in these fake or ingenuine connections, or being surrounded by people that are ready to hold good things against you, or ready to blame you for everything and throw you under the dust, you, the bus, sorry, you are being presented with connections, situations, and people that operate from a genuine place of kindness, goodness, and excitement and love. What is paying off for pile 4? What is paying off for pile 4? What is paying off for pile 4? Oh, wow. We have the High Priestess. Then we have 6 of Pentacles. I know it's getting really dark, but like I don't know. I feel like torn because I really like this lighting, but at the same time it's just like it's like different from the, I don't know. Then we have the Magician, the Empress, and then we have Death. So some of you guys could be a Scorpio, or you could have major Scorpio placements in your chart. We also have 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You could also have Taurus or Libra placements. You don't have to. Or you could just, like, Venus could be related here. So maybe you have, like, an earthy Venus with the 6 of Pentacles. And it doesn't really matter. But, like, I just feel like the Venus sign is very important here. Maybe you guys have, like, Scorpio Venus. But, like, regardless of whether or not you have these placements, the point is, I feel like a lot of you guys are attracting genuinity. Is that the word? Or just kind of like, you know, like that Scorpio Venus vibe of like operating from a place of true kindness and truly, you know, like seeking something real, something deep, something meaningful, something that's true, you know. I feel like with the High Priestess card, another way that this is being, like, this is paying off for you is the truth is going to be revealed, you know. Or I feel like you'll be presented a lot of like realities, because I feel like with the blame card, I feel like the blame can really distort reality, or it can really distort situations, because it's like, you aren't being presented with the truth, you know, you're just being presented with who is at fault here, you know. It's just like you become so focused on who is at fault that you forget to, you know, consider what's going on, you know. It doesn't matter, like, for example, like somebody accidentally destroys a flower pot, you know, and it's just like you can blame that person, be like, it was your fault, but like that doesn't fix the flower pot, you know. And what I'm trying to say with that is I feel like you're about to reach a more productive mindset, and I feel like you guys are about to reach a lot more productive circumstances, a lot more productive people, a lot more productive workplaces, you know. It's just like productivity is coming upon you, and I feel like that is how these things are paying off, is in the form of blatant productivity. Because instead of dealing with all these ordeals that just like do nothing, you know, instead of like dealing with the petty drama, it's just, I feel like deeper questions will be asked with the death card here. And I know I feel like I'm kind of I don't know, I think that message is a little bit confusing, but I just feel like you will no longer derive satisfaction, or other people will no longer derive satisfaction, or you will no longer give people the satisfaction of pointing a finger, you know? And I know I keep going back to that, but I just feel like something about blame and just the way that the card came out is so important here, because it's just like with the death card and the empress card, you are really transforming. You are really killing off a lot of unhealthy behaviors that aren't even your own, but were rather taught from people. Maybe with the Empress card, like something about the mother could be significant here. Maybe some of you guys are healing a relationship with the mother, or maybe some of you guys are healing a relationship or a behavior, not a relationship, but a behavior that your mother taught you, or just a mother could be important here. Because the Empress is the mother of the tarot. And I feel like with the death card, I just feel like you guys are coming to terms with a lot of different things in your life that no longer serve you. With the Six of Pentacles, I feel like this could be like a specific dynamic, this could be a behavior or a give and take in your life that you're just like, you know, this is not working anymore. You know, it makes me think of like you're working a job and you're like, you know what, I don't get enough hours here anymore, or, you know, I don't get enough money here, so I'm just going to leave this job, you know? I just feel like that's what's happening to you. And I feel like with the Two of Wands, you'll be presented with a lot better circumstances, in the sense that I just feel like you guys will be presented with a lot more options, because you're simply choosing to letting go of an unproductive mindset or an unproductive, you know, whatever it may be. It's just like you are letting go of things that get you nowhere, you know. You're letting go of operating from a place of ego, or you're letting go of something that just generally was integrated into your life at a very young age, or was integrated into your life out of pure survival, but you no longer need to survive, because surviving isn't on the agenda anymore, it's thriving. Especially with the Magician card and Six of Pentacles, like, it's just obvious that you're moving into a different part of life, that you are manifesting, that gives you way better options, gives you the abundance that you need, you know. Especially with the Empress card, you know, like, even if this has nothing to do with the mother or the mother, it's just like you're being blessed with the abundance of the Empress, you know. You're being blessed with having the fruits of what you need, or like the fruits that you need being at your fingertips, you know. The Empress is so abundant. Like, it just makes me think of like someone being fed grapes, you know, like the royalty. And I just feel like with the High Priestess card, like, it's clear that your moral compass is fixed, and it's clear that you're no longer on the wrong track. I don't know, you guys, like, this reading just feels like you guys are just not in a very good headspace for a really long time. And you guys were just so, like, you just weren't satisfied, you know? Like, you felt so unhappy with yourself. You felt so, like, and I don't want any of these messages to come off as, like, really triggering. So if you're triggered by the messages, or if they don't resonate, feel free to not take them, you know? It's just, like, they're for someone else, because, you know, like, I feel like these are very sensitive messages. But I just, like, I just feel somebody that is overstimulated, somebody that has a fire under their arse, and somebody that is just like really stressed out and just kind of like thinking about problem to problem, you know, operating from a place of like there's always something, you know. It makes me think of that show Beef, where they kept saying there's always something. And instead of like living a life where you're constantly dealing with problems, you're constantly focusing on the negative, or you're constantly focusing on something that no longer serves you, or you're constantly focusing on the wrong things in general that no longer bring you the satisfaction, or never brought you the satisfaction that you needed. I feel like you are finally letting things go, and I feel like you have finally begun to move away from an era of your life where you were really in a terrible headspace. And with the High Priestess card, I feel like you can sense it, or I feel like you can feel it. And consequently, with the Magician card, you are manifesting so much goodness into your life in the form of a lot of great opportunities. And for some of you, that could be in regards to like your relationships, but I feel like there's an emphasis on money with the Six of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. I feel like the Six of Pentacles here really tells me that like you are about to come into a lot of resources, or you're about to come into an era of life where you have a routine figured out. You have a lot of things like nothing is no longer up in the air for you. I feel like that's how it's paying off, is that nothing will no longer be in the air for you, because you know, like blame won't be the thing, you know, like it won't be about who's at fault. It won't be about like what's going on. It won't be about, you know, it's none of the petty details, you know. It's the pulp of it, you know. It's just like, okay, like doesn't matter whose fault it is, it doesn't matter what's going on, it doesn't matter when this happened, it doesn't matter why it happened. What matters is that it happened, it's going to get dealt with, and this productive mindset is just like, it's going to really like catapult you into an era of life where you feel comfortable financially and just like generally, you know. Like I feel like you'll start to feel very comfortable in your space. I don't know, Pile 4, I feel like I'm going in circles here, so I'm just gonna sum up your message. And also because it's like really dark now, I hope you like the vibes. But I just feel like you guys were, like I said, in a very bad headspace for a while, or you were just in an environment or in a give and take that wasn't really give and take, but rather you, like, it was only take or only give. And I feel like the other one is going to be granted to you. Like, so for example, if all you've been doing is giving, then there will be a moment where you're able to take. If all you've been doing is taking, there will be a moment where you're able to give, and in a strictly good way, you know. And it's clear that with the Death card, you have worked very hard to let go of things from the past and to move away from situations and move away from ways of living and ways of functioning that you didn't resonate with deep down, and you didn't like, and you just like didn't want to, you know. Like basically, honestly, Pile 4, I'm just gonna wrap it up all by saying that you will no longer have to operate from a place of survival, and instead you will actually be able to finally just focus on what you can do to thrive as opposed to survive. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me with this lighting. If the reading did resonate, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye.